Waiting for any hospital treatment can be a worry. Without insurance, getting private treatment can be a financial worry. Let Spire Leicester Hospital help. With our affordable fixed-price self-pay options, you'll get timely access to your consultant and the aftercare you need. To find out more, search Spire Leicester Self-Pay or call 0116 214 5100 today. Spire, your affordable private healthcare choice.
Hello and welcome to Farley Way for today's FA Women's Premier League meeting between Leicester City Women and Blackburn Rovers, the final home game of the 2017-18 season, as Leicester City look to finish on a high with victory against Blackburn Rovers to keep them in the title race. I'm joined alongside myself by Connor De Smith, who was also with us for the 15-0 win of the Friday night on the County Cup. What are you expecting out of today's game? I imagine a bit of a closer match.
I'm expecting an extremely exciting game here. As you say, in Leicester's final home game of the season. These two sides, along with Middlesbrough, have been by far the best in the division this season, so we'll have a lot of quality on show this afternoon. I think it'll be hard to beat the excitement in the 3-2 win over West Brom in the last fixture here, but because of what's at stake, we'll definitely see an entertaining game of football.
There we go. As it stands, three little words that we'll probably hear a lot of time as it stands. But the league table at the minute, Middlesbrough, top of the league, played 20 with 42 points, then just behind them Blackburn Rovers having played 17 with 41 points. They still have 5 games left of their season, and then Leicester City in third played 19 with 40 points. So it is very close at the top of the table. With those games in hand for Blackburn, that will be the key for deciding the title.
Exactly. It's just how they adapt to having so many games in such a short period of time. I mean, we saw against in the 1-0 win against Derby County this week that they sort of struggled over the line to beat a mid-table Derby team. Kind of fortunate with the goal from the corner, a big deflection. So we'll see how they cope in the run-in. But they are a quality team, so we should expect them to push Leicester or Borough all the way.
There we go. Take a look at the starting lineup selected by Jonathan Morgan for today's game. A fairly familiar looking lineup with Charlotte Clark starting in goal, a back four of Rhea Acton, Nat Johnson, Holly Morgan the captain, and Hayley James. 2 in the midfielders, Paige Stewart and Nicole Nyman. 3 in front of them is Rosie Axton, Lee Dugmore and Sophie Domingo, all 3 of those vying for the top scorer at the club come the end of the season, and Olivia Mitchum leads the line up front. 2 sides just about gathering in the tunnel. We mentioned earlier obviously the County Cup final from last Friday night. If you weren't able to watch or join us, Leicester City picking up the County Cup for the first time since 2014 with a 15-0 win over AFC Leicester, and certainly an enjoyable evening for the Foxes.
Yeah, an entertaining evening, if you can call it that. A big win, and as we said on the day, I think it was just good for them to get out back on the pitch after that cup defeat, to get it off their back almost and be fresh for this one. I think obviously it's nice to win silverware, but they would have had a firm one eye at least on this game. So we'll see how they respond and if they're quick out of the traps today.
Certainly a glorious sunshiny day here, but the heat may play a part coming towards the end of the second half. You know, I've been down on that pitch, and it's a 4G pitch with a rubber crumb, and it's holding the heat very well, and the players are going to have to struggle a bit with the high temperature and taking on plenty of fluids.
And we'll see Leicester City's and of course Blackburn and other top teams' fitness levels. I mean, in the clubhouse after the win over West Brom, where Leicester scored 3 goals late on, players were talking about how they love the final 10 minutes of games because they have the ability to keep on going, to keep on pushing, and we'll see that ability today because they'll need it, as you say, with the pitch retaining a lot of heat.
League leaders Middlesbrough not in action today then, so either side here know that with a victory they can go top of the league. Blackburn, incidentally, with a draw would also overtake Middlesbrough on goal difference. So certainly the pressure is on for both sides, but also at the same time the reward pays off if you go and get the victory that finish the afternoon top of the table with just a couple of games left to go. Certainly is a massive boost for the rest of the season, whichever side comes out top today.
I mean, it's all well and good from Blackburn's point of view to have those games in hand, but we've seen it in almost every division that you'd rather have those points on the board, and a win from Leicester today will certainly put pressure on Blackburn Rovers in their final few games of the season.
to give you an update on the final fixtures for Blackburn Rovers. So Leicester City, they travel to Middlesbrough next Sunday. Another tough fixture in the league as they face the side that are currently top of the table. And on the final day of the season, they travel to Bradford for a final day clash. Blackburn's running slightly trickier. They have a County Cup match on Thursday night, and then that's the start of 5 games in 11 days for Rovers. So they face Chorley Town in a County Cup match. Then on Sunday they travel away to Nottingham Forest. Tuesday at home to Stoke City. Thursday away to relegation-threatened Guiseley, who hopefully will still be in with a chance of picking up points in that game. And then on the final day of the season they travel to Middlesbrough. So certainly not an easy run-in for Blackburn Rovers. But they'll be looking to take maximum points for as many games as they can and pick up the title for the second successive season.
Of course, and they won't want to let their standards slip, even if they do have to rotate. I mean, all the players in the squad will be drilled, and they know what it takes to win this league. I know the competition this season has been a lot more strenuous, maybe on the Blackburn squad, but they know what to do. They're champions, and I think all eyes will be on that final day fixture if all 3 teams maybe are in with a shout of winning it.
And then finally, your thoughts, just as we are seeing both the teams lining up there in the tunnel. Your thoughts, obviously Blackburn Rovers won the League Cup final last Sunday, a repeat fixture of today's league match. Do you think Leicester will, obviously they want to get revenge, but will that be playing at all on their minds going into today's game, or is it entirely 100% focused on today's game?
Maybe for a few players. I know the performance was good for the League Cup final. Obviously lost it in devastating circumstances. I think revenge might be the wrong word, but maybe they'll look to get it off their backs, and they'll see this today as an opportunity to move on from that defeat, especially against the same side. Leicester have played Blackburn a good number of times since promotion in 2016, and they've always been tight affairs, so I am expecting a close scoreline today.
Just waiting for the 2 teams and the referees to make their way onto the pitch. Nice to see mascots for the Foxes from both Royce Rangers and East Goscott. On either side of Captain Holly Morgan, who's leading the sides out. One of the points to mention ahead of today's game, Rosie Axton on 49 goals for the club. So a goal for her today will be their 50th in the blue of Leicester City. A fantastic achievement in just over 3.5 seasons. And there we are, the 2 teams making their way out here onto the pitch at Farley Way. Just noticing that some of the mascots seemingly the same size as some of the Leicester City players. Taking a look as well at the other fixtures coming up in the Northern Division today. A couple of relegation, I say 6-pointers, but certainly games where 2 teams in that bottom 2 at the minute desperately need to pick up some points. So Guiseley are at home to Nottingham Forest. Guiseley currently bottom of the league, but with 3 games in hand over the team just above them, which is Wolves. Wolves at home to Derby County. Both of those could pick up wins, and both could move out of the, or at least, sorry, out of the bottom 2 places. It's the bottom 2 that will finish in the relegation zones. The other games in the Northern Division today sees Stoke City at home to AFC Fylde. As I mentioned, Middlesbrough not in action today, giving a chance for either of these 2 sides to finish the day top of the league. Really, there shouldn't be much more momentum needed in terms of, that's the push. Go out there, win the game, and finish top of the league today.
Either side won't need telling by either managers what today means, what a win means, certainly for Leicester's point of view, and what getting over the line for Blackburn is. The league titles at stake today, and could be at stake today. And as I said, two quality teams going for it, and I think we'll see a good one today.
The third meeting then between these 2 sides in the last 4 weeks over at up in Blackburn at the Sir Tomfany Stadium. It finished Blackburn 1, Leicester City 2, with 2 goals from Sophie Domingo, including the 90th minute winner, or the 88th minute winner I think it was at the time. And then last week the League Cup final, which started so well for Leicester City, taking the lead again through Sophie Domingo inside the 14th minutes, but unfortunately ended up in heartbreak as Blackburn Rovers replied from a penalty spot and then went on to win it 3-1. So far this season, 2 meetings and 1 win apiece. Not really much to separate the two sides. If you take into account that the last minute winner, or the third goal for Blackburn, was a 90th minute one after Leicester were pushing for an equaliser, you know, that's 2-1, or 1-2-1 win each. It shows you how close these two sides are, and pushing for the league title. They're both going to try and push as much as they can, as far as they can, and push each other all the way.
I mean, it shows how far Leicester City have come from even last season, where they finished third. Closed the gap massively on a good Blackburn team, and as you say, apart from the first meeting, since Leicester's promotion, all the games have been fairly close.
Yeah, we spoke to Holly Morgan after the 2-1 win away at Blackburn, and she said that she was delighted with how the club had progressed from the first meeting in this division, which was a 4-0 home defeat at the hands of Blackburn Rovers, to then last season a 2-2 draw as well. And then, like I say, the progress we've seen so far this season as well. They lost last season. They lost the league by 20 points. They finished third, 20 points behind Blackburn Rovers. And this season, the pressure will at least go down to the final week of the season. And at the minute, there is just 2 points between all 3 of those top teams, and that's certainly a lot closer than last season. Both teams then set up and almost ready to go. The referee just checking with the goalkeepers and the linesman. The whistle is in his mouth, and we're underway for this Northern Divisional title clash between Leicester City Women and Blackburn Rovers. Immediately, Blackburn Rovers putting Leicester City under pressure from their own kick-off. Played back to Fenton, who goes through the middle, but it's a loose pass, and Leicester City get their first touch of the game through captain Holly Morgan. Rear Acton looks down the line, but it's overhit and out for a throw in to the visitors. Throw forward, and Alex Taylor on the ball now. Nat Johnson does well to get goal side and win that one back. Ash Fenton gets in there to try and win it for Blackburn, but it's out of play for a Leicester City throw in. I'll give you the Blackburn Rovers starting lineup as well. We're starting with Danielle Hilly in goal, back four with Chelsea Dukes, Ali Cook, Kayla McDonald and Kaylee Pearson. Midfielders Linda Shepherd, the captain, Jess Holbrook, Natasha Fenton and Natasha Flint, with Alex Taylor and Saffron Jordan up front. Holly Morgan then with that ball, looking for a long ball down the line, finds Lee Dugmore. She's through on goal and does well to get past the defender. Lee Dugmore with a early chance there, pulls it left across goal, and at the back post there, Rosie Axton slots that one home, and Leicester City have a very early lead. Rosie Axton at the back post taps that one in for a 50th goal at Leicester City, and a fantastic start from Leicester City, and the Foxes lead 1-0.
Well, a 50th goal couldn't come up at much at a better time for Rosie Axton. Hugely well done to Doug Moore, fighting to win that ball, and a great ball across to Rosie Axton, unmarked at the back post, to tap it in for 1-0.
Fantastic, bright start from Leicester City. Holly Morgan with the ball through the middle of the park, finding Lee Dugmore, and Dugmore stayed composed to get past the defender. Played up a ball that realistically Rosie Axton couldn't miss that one from that distance, and it's a fantastic start for Jonathan Morgan's side. We are back underway. And Blackburn will be looking for an immediate response. That ball in towards the back post is cleared by Hayley James. While there is a quick break in play, we can take a look at the replay of that goal. Holly Morgan bringing that one out of defence. A perfect little lob ball over the top for Lee Dugmore, who chested it down brilliantly, takes it out wide, and then plays a perfect ball across the goal, and Rosie Axton cannot miss from 2 or 3 yards out. And brilliant start. Long ball forward from Leicester City again. Again, it's missed in defence by Blackburn and makes his way back to Danielle Hill in the Rovers goal. Matt Johnson gets the call there to leave that one, and Charlotte Clark collects. Here's Rosie Jackson on the ball then, looking for the great through ball, looking for the run of Sophie Domingo. Gets past the keeper and the defender's forced to get a touch on that one and sees it out for a corner. And Leicester City again looking to utilise their bright pace, especially through Sophie Domingo on this near side. And the defender stays down with a bit of a knock, but a corner kick then to Leicester City. A chance to build on what's already an early lead. Foxes will have to show, obviously they took the lead in the League Cup final last Sunday, they'll have to show that they've learnt from what they did there. And certainly not concede the lead again this time.
I think it's really pleasing from Dugmore's point of view, obviously missing that chance in the cup final to put Leicester 2-0 up. So she'll be really happy to have played such a huge important part in the first goal.
Still a break in play here while the Rovers defender gets some treatment. I think it's either Pearson or McDonald, I think, who's down at the minute. Did well to get back in goal side of Sophie Domingo and get a vital touch on that ball. How Sophie Domingo would have also been through on goal with a chance to double the Foxes' lead, but got a vital touch to it, and it's a corner now to the Foxes.
It's a shame from Leicester's point of view that this injury's occurred, because they have started really well, but I'm sure they won't let them get to it. Obviously, corner now, danger's still a possibility, and they've got a good chance to double the lead, especially with Rosie Axton's delivery from set pieces.
Just while there is a break in play, I can tell you there's been a goal at Stoke City, and Stoke lead AFC followed by a 1-0. It's also worth mentioning, obviously, with the heat at this point, that standing around, I mean, this qualifies for both teams, obviously, but standing around, Leicester are just making their way in for having a little bit of a drink. Standing around in the heat isn't necessarily the best thing to do, and obviously, clearly we're concerned, obviously, for the defender who is down injured, but Leicester have got to make sure they stayed focused and not let the heat get to them, certainly this early stage in the game.
Well, they're doing the absolute right thing, getting fluids on board. You can see Jonathan here grouping the players up, talking to them. I'm sure he won't be letting them get ahead of themselves after taking the leads.
Defender is back to her feet, which is good to see, and just being guided off the pitch just behind the goal. Rosie Jackson then again just making her way over for this corner in the near side. It'll be an in-swinging ball, and after a delayed start, or a delayed period there, interesting to see how each team has remained focused on this game. You have just joined us, the Foxes lead 1-0 already. In comes this corner in towards the back post, header at the back post, but it's over the bar. I say, you have just joined us, the Foxes leading 1-0 already. Rosie Axton with her 50th goal for the club. A simple tap in at the back post after Lee Dugmore squared the ball up to her. back underway then with Rovers on the ball. Squared here to looking for the run of Saffron Jordan. Sophie Domingo can't quite reach it, and Jordan picks it up and is bursting forward now in towards the Leicester half. She's got Dugmore there for company keeping her around. Managed to find it into Linda Shepherd, but it's cleared by Leicester City. Picked up again by Mitcham and Lee Dugmore, both trying to battle away and win that one, but Rovers keep that ball, and captain Linda Shepherd in the middle of the park lays this one off.
I think Blackburn are making a substitution now.
By the looks of it, still trying to work out who it is, but the injured player is making her way off the pitch as she hobbles around the far side. Leicester then playing against the 10 players of Blackburn and bursting forward here through Lee Dugmore. Tries to find that one into Olivia Mitcham if she can find this pull back. Instead opts to go out wide and finds it back to Rosie Axon. Pings that one into Olivia Mitcham. Then Rosie Axon look for the back post. Defender misses it, and Sophie Domingo tries to get goal side, but can't get herself over the top of it to find a shot in. And you can see there from the action of the Rovers goalkeeper that she's not happy, and Leicester finding opportunities in behind the Rovers back line.
Making the use of the extra women on the pitch there. They'll want to get a defender on back as possible to get their shape back. But as you say, Leicester City have started really, really brightly here, and they're not looking to sit on their 1-0 score line. They're looking to make it 2.
Charlotte Clark goes long upfield with that one, looking for Olivia Mitcham. Just slightly misses out on that one, and it's played all the way back for Danielle Hill to collect. And you're right, Rovers on the far side are there, just readying a substitution. Long ball over the top from Rovers will be picked up by Nat Johnson, who's dropped into central defence for today's game. Here is Rear Acton bursting forward across the halfway line. Finds Sophie Domingo, who gets decent touch on the ball but can't keep it under control. And Paige Stewart battling away there with Jess Holbrook, who comes away with the ball and looks down the line for Tash Flint. She's got Jordan in the box if she can find it. Tash Flint going against Hayley James, and Holly Morgan does enough to get a touch on it the first time, then can't quite keep it away, and then it's played across goal, and Nat Johnson gets enough of a block there to see it out for a corner. Blackburn looking lively on the counter-attack there, but a chance then for Rovers to make their substitution.
Just last-ditch defending there from Holly Morgan and her Leicester City defenders. Good work there on the touch, on the byline by Flint to get into the box, and unfortunately couldn't get the equaliser.
An interesting substitution then from Rovers. It's Lagan Macon who's coming on, who's obviously a forward, more of a winger, coming on, replacing I think a right back. Pearson is gone off. See if that does change formation later on, but at the minute it's a corner for Blackburn, and it comes in towards that 6-yard box. Lee Dugmore gets just enough of a touch on it, then falls to Macon on the edge of the area, gets past Domingo, can't quite pull it back across goal, and it's out for a goal kick for Charlotte Clark to take.
Where you going? That way?
Yeah, but it's just got too hot. Where are you going?
There's Hayley James on the far side as well to get past Holbrook, then looks for the long ball down the line for Rosie Axton, but the offside flag is up against Rosie Axton. Nice to see Leicester playing attacking football still. They're not sitting back, they're happy to take Blackburn on defensively, and so far they seem to have done well to get the right side of Leicester City. Sorry, the right side of Blackburn Rovers in terms of getting in behind the defence.
Now, as you say, City would know they'll need a second. I don't think they've kept a clean sheet against Blackburn since they've entered this division, so they know they'll need to see out the victory.
Through ball from Jordan is cut out by Rear Acton. Long flick there from Nicole Nyman, and Sophie Domingo is battling away with Alex Taylor, who's dropped in at right back at the minute. Domingo trying to flick that ball through for the run of Olivia Mitcham, but it's cut out and Rovers can bring it away. Paige Stewart gets an interception there and sees that one out for a throw in. Hayley James as well to get goal sign of that one and clear it. Holbrook though puts it back in for Rovers. Then Hayley James and Nat Johnson both combine and see that one out for a throw in, just 10 yards or so in front of the Leicester City dugout. Taken quickly, but Jordan's not allowed to turn. Rosie Axton can't quite keep that one in play, and it's another throw into Rovers on that far side. Chance then for a ball into the box, misses two. Ollie Morgan gets the clearance. Saffron Jordan trying to bring that one down, fires that one low into the far corner, but it's out of play, and relief for Leicester as it rolls through for a goal kick.
You don't want to be giving a player of Saffron Jordan's quality that much time in the penalty area to turn and get her shot away. There's a few players on the Blackburn team. I think 3 have reached double figures this season. So Leicester City will know the quality that they possess, and they can't let them have that much space in the box.
Blackburn again on the front foot. Rosie Axton there battling away defensively as well to come away with the ball. Flicks it away from Fenton, but then the cross still come in, and the offside flag is up again against Blackburn Rovers. Sophie Domingo gets goal side to win that one, but the referee then does pull it back for the offside decision.
I think he was just wanting to see how that played out for Leicester City, see if they can get back on the counter-attack, but rightly blew for the offsides.
It's always good to see the advantage utilised to its potential, and obviously, like you say there, Leicester City do know they can counter quickly with their pace, and if they'd have got away from that one, they'd have been disappointed to see it come back. Olivia Mitchell gets a heavy flick on that one, and that will be straight through. Even Sophie Domingo can't catch that one. Rovers still on the front foot here. Shepherd flicks that one further forward, but Leicester City will bring this one clear through Nicole Nyman. She's got a run of Sophie Domingo if she can pick her out on this far side. It's a heavy long ball though, and it'll be out of play for a throw in. Leicester City having taken the lead and offered a bright start, just sitting back a little bit now and allowing Blackburn Rovers to put them under some pressure.
I think it'll be an interesting battle on that right-hand side, see if Blackburn's left-back can deal with Domingo. She's certainly proven to be an outlet for Leicester City. Obviously, the long balls looking to get in behind for Domingo. So it'll be interesting to see. There's been good battles between the two already, good 50-50s, but we'll see who come out on top at the end of the game.
Well, it's Alex Taylor who's currently at right-back for Rovers, but while she is wearing the number 3 shirt, she started the game as a right winger, so wasn't necessarily directly involved with the early battles with Sophie Domingo, but due to the injury to Pearson, then Domingo has got a new suitor to take on. Alex Taylor dropping back into that right back position, so we'll see certainly as the game goes on how she does. Rhea Acton trying to start another attack there with a through ball. There is Tash Flint with a shot from distance, well blocked by Nat Johnson. Not quite sure how much she knew about it. Liv Mitchum gets a foot to that one but can't keep it under control. Here is Flint for Rovers, still with the guidance of Nat Johnson to keep her away. Now making on this near side, lays it back to Flint, but it's a misplaced pass and Leicester can pick it up again through Dugmore, and a chance now for the Foxes to bring this one clear. Here's Rhea Acton on the near side. Plenty of time to burst forward, finds Sophie Domingo, just stands on the ball but as well to recover and get back up. Flicks that one out for Olivia Mitchum, but the offside flag up again against Olivia Mitchum. But a bright opportunity there for the Foxes and a good attacking play.
Domingo did really well to recover from standing on the ball, but I think Mitchum just went a tad too early. It was obviously very tight, but she was expecting that ball from Domingo and just strayed offsides.
There is Holbrook battling away with Nat Johnson on that far side. This Nicole Nyman, sorry, who battling away and comes away with the ball and finds Dugmore. Can't quite beat Tasha Fenton to the ball. And Dugmore dives in and wins that ball, and it's stayed in play, and it will make its way out for a corner, unfortunately, for Leicester City's point of view. A fantastic challenge from Lee Dugmore to win the ball. Just unfortunate, I think, that it took a bobble and stayed in play rather than going out for a throw-in.
I think that's the other side of Dugmore's game that you don't really necessarily notice too often, that she is aggressive in that midfield and can make those challenges when called upon.
Ball comes in then from this corner, headed in by Shepherd, still not quite cleared, and then Nat Johnson trying to get her foot away, then Olivia Mitchum gets her foot to it clearer. And it's away for now from the Foxes. Here is Fenton on the far side with another delivery for Rovers. She's got Jordan to aim at. Charlotte Clark gets a touch to it, and it's a great block there from Rhea Acton to clear that one out for another corner, as Charlotte Clark got enough on that first cross, but it fell kindly for the Blackburn Rovers player to fire in from the back post, but it's well cleared by Rhea Acton, and it's and a play for another Rovers corner. The Holbrook then to deliver this one. Headed clear, Rosie Axton gets a further clearance on that one. Here is Fenton on the edge of the area, lofts that one into a shot, but it's calmly collected by Charlotte Clark, and a chance for Leicester to clear their own lines and clear the danger. And a decent spell of possession and attacking football there for Blackburn Rovers. Here is Macon on this near side, tries to get past Sophie Domingo. Assistant referee on this near side gives that one in the favour of the visitors. Taylor takes it and fires it down the line. Here is Cook bursting forward through the middle of the park. Plays the ball in towards Flint, laid off for Shepherd, the captain. Cook goes long down the line, but it'll be out of play for a City throw-in. It's also worth noting that obviously come the end of the season, goal difference may also play a part between these two sides. Rovers starting the day on plus 41, whilst Leicester City 10 goals behind on plus 31. But obviously any goals or any winning margin in today's game will play a big effect on that goal difference. Ball down the line from Rovers finds Lagan Mackin. Well done, Rhea Acton, to get a foot in there to win it potentially for Leicester City. Nicole Nyman still battling away, and the ball is forced out of play, and well done Leicester City there to see that one out of play, and it's a throw in again then to the Foxes.
Really good pressure there from Leicester City with Nyman coming over to that right hand side. I mean, interesting to see what sort of role Nyman plays today, because he's been playing a more advanced role, I'd say, midway through the season. But she'll know that she'll need to be on her best defensively today.
Long ball down the line from Paige Stewart. And Olivia Mitchum battling away and sees that one out for helps it out for a Leicester City throw-in. A goal at Wolves in one of the relegation battles of the day. Wolves 1, Derby County 0. Rhea Acton with the throw-in, tries to find Sophie Domingo, but Lagan Mackin wins it back for Blackburn Rovers. Now is Saffron Jordan, who's had to drop deep to collect this one. And Holly Morgan gets enough on that ball. Does enough to win it and sees it out for a throw-in. Played backwards by Taylor. Long ball through the middle of the park from Rovers finds Flint, who fixed that one on. Saffron Jordan can't quite reach it, and it'll roll through for Clark to collect. Long ball down the line from Clark is missed by 2, but Olivia Mitchell goes across to try and win it for Leicester City. Fenton misses that one and Dugmore will pick it up, but Fenton gets back inside, but Rosie Axton picks it up now. Bursting forward on this near side finds Sophie Domingo. In towards the penalty area past Taylor, and it's a low ball in, but it's cleared by Rovers. Now Mackin tries to flick that on past Rear Acton as well to get it back in the ball in towards the box. It's headed in by Olivia Mitchum. The offside flag is up against Olivia Mitchum and the goal won't count. A great ball in towards the box from Rear Acton. Olivia Mitchum getting ahead to it, but unfortunately the offside flag denying the Foxes what would have been a fantastic second goal.
It's difficult to tell from our angle down whether that was offside or not, but a really good fizzing ball there by Rear Acton from the right hand side, and a really good glancing header there. It can only be encouraging from City's point of view, but unfortunate that they haven't doubled their advantage.
Holly Morgan battling away on that far side, puts it out of play for off a deflection for a Leicester City throw in. Hayley James will take and hopefully launch down the field. If you're interested in the final day of the Championship table, Cardiff City have been promoted to the Premier League with a 0-0 draw, whilst Burton Albion and Barnsley have both been relegated, joining Sunderland. Also a note of congratulations to Blackburn Rovers' counterparts. Their men's side winning promotion from League One yesterday.
Good season for Blackburn Football Club as a whole then. I mean, we saw Blackburn ladies out with the League Cup that they won over Leicester at Ewood Park, so should be a really good feel-good factor around Ewood Park at the moment.
Definitely so, and Blackburn Rovers with an opportunity to build on that feel-good factor next week. They face Stoke City. Their final home game of the season will be at Ewood Park. Here is Making for Rovers, flicks that one inside for looking for Flint, who fires a low drive in, and it's a great finish from Tash Flint. The equaliser comes for Blackburn Rovers, a lovely little flick in there from Lagan Making, and it's Natasha Flint who drives that one low into the bottom corner. Disappointment for Leicester, who could have doubled the lead just a couple of moments ago, but instead it's Blackburn Rovers who get the next goal, and it's one apiece, and in fact we will have a drinks break. Unusual to see in England, but certainly under the heat you can understand why it's been given from the referee.
It's a really good finish there from Blackburn. Nothing Charlotte Clark could have done really. Hit hard and low into the bottom corner. Almost impossible for Clark to get down that low and push the ball away. But again, an opportunity with this drinks break for Jonathan Morgan to talk to his side, keep them calm, and tell them that they've probably been the better side on average in this first half so far, and they'll need to go again now.
Right. One apiece then, cancelling out Rosie Axton's opener for the Foxes. And if you have just joined us, just enjoying a drinks break in the lovely sunshine. Just ticking towards the half an hour mark as we have this break. From Rovers' point of view, they'll be delighted with that goal. I mean, you mentioned they were sort of coming into the game and probably on top for the last 10 or 15 minutes or so, and a really well-worked goal flicked in from Lagan Making just inside, or just on the edge of the area finding Flint in some good space, and it's a low drive across goal, and realistically there's not much that Charlotte Clark could have done to keep that one out.
Not at all. And you saw Paige Stewart coming across there. I thought she might have been able to block that ball, but as you say, just drilled into the bottom corner. Nothing much Clark could have done, and it's all evens now.
Jonathan Morgan will be looking for a bright response to the equaliser as he sends his players back out from their drinks break, and he'll be looking for an immediate response and hopefully see if they can get themselves back in front before the half-time whistle comes in around 15 minutes time. Olivia Mitchum just making her way into the middle of the park then for this kick-off, one apiece, with Rovers having just equalised. And as mentioned there, we will be looking for an immediate response from the Foxes. Here is Naomi, looks to try and play a forward ball, then change her mind and then instead drives the ball forward, looks for a long ball over the top, looking for Sophie Domingo. He's got goal side of Alex Taylor, if she can pull this one back across goal. Can't quite get there, unfortunately, and Taylor as well to recover. Naomi can't quite get to that one, and here is Holbrook, who brings it clear and finds Making. She's got the option of Holbrook has made a run down the line, but instead finds Paige Stewart, flicks that one through, and now Rhea Acton can burst forward. Takes it past Taylor, does really well to get past it, but can't come away with the ball, unfortunately. Taylor then sees it out for a throw in, and Leicester immediately putting Rovers under some pressure. Throw in taken, finds Paige Stewart, and Rhea Acton delivers that one into the box just over the top of Olivia Mitchum, and it's cleared. Out of play for another throw in. Acton finds Olivia Mitchum, who works off some space and finds the cross deflected, and another corner then for Leicester City as Rose Jackson makes her way over. But a bright spell from Leicester City, looking to come back into the game, having taken an equaliser, or conceded an equaliser. One in towards the 6-yard box. It's Holly Morgan who jumps up highest, but her header is off target and it's over the top and out of play for a goal kick. What a brilliant opportunity there for Leicester City. Again, a well-worked corner, and Holly Morgan can't quite direct a header enough.
It's a free header. She got up well. I just might have been too hard for her to get over the ball and head that down towards the Blackburn goal, but they'll see it as another opportunity. You can see why these two have done so well in the division this season. There's been very few clear-cut chances for both sides, with congestion in midfield and good, not many opportunities to exploit free space.
There is Clark in defence for Leicester, finds Nat Johnson down the line, looks for Hayley James, who brings this one across the halfway line for the Foxes, tries to play a through ball looking for Olivia Mitchum, but it's picked up by Rovers, and now Flint looks to pick out Making on this near side. That's a great ball, and making some spun space. An early ball in towards the box is cleared by Johnson for Leicester City. And loose touch, and now Leicester can bring this clear again with Lee Dugmore, looking for a ball through the middle, looking for Sophie Domingo, is onside, but the ball is too heavy and rolls through for Hill to collect in the Rovers goal. LFC Fylde have found an equaliser away to Stoke City. It's one apiece there just after half an hour. Here is Domingo on the ball for Leicester. Tries to take it past Tash Fenton. Still going and lays that one off for Holly Morgan. Down the line, looking for Rhea Acton, but it's cleared by Rovers through Taylor. And now Flint picks the ball up. Looks to go wide, and Haley James can't quite get goal side of that one, but Saffron Jordan can't come away with it, and Nat Johnson clears it for Leicester out for a throw in. Just inside the Rovers half. Jordan does well to bring that one down, but a through ball is picked up by Leicester City. Now Nymea can bring it forward for the Foxes. Looks to go down the line for Rosie Axton. Cuts back inside, but it's a heavy touch and cleared out of play by Fenton. James goes long looking for Olivia Mitchell. It's flicked downfield for Dugmore, who takes touch to bring it down, and Dugmore fires a shot in, and a great save from Hill, tips that one onto the crossbar. What a fantastic save that is from Danielle Hill, and Leicester City probably again should have doubled their lead, or extended, taken the lead again, sorry. Lee Dugmore with a fantastic shot.
Magnificent save. I mean, the shot was good, but the save equalled it and then some. I think Mitchell has done really well to hold the ball up and provide an opportunity for her teammates, and we saw that again.
Axton with the resulting corner in towards the area. It's headed goalwards, but appeals for a second corner, nothing given. And it's a goal kick then to Blackburn Rovers.
I think you'd have to say City have had the better opportunities in front of goal thus far. I think in the cup final it was just about taking those opportunities and putting themselves ahead. I think they'll know that, and they'll have to, they need to take one.
Yeah, I think definitely, like you say there, Leicester City won't want to be ruining any missed opportunities come the full-time whistle. As Flint slips on the ball there, but does well to recover. Saffron Jordan goes through on goal, and free kick is given Rovers way just on the edge of the area, and Leicester City have to stay strong to prevent Rovers making the lead here through this free kick.
It's right on the edge here for Blackburn. They do have the players to convert from these sort of situations.
It is very close. It's probably too close to try going up and down. The Wolves want to stay strong to not let this one slip through any cracks. Referee just making sure the wall is back 10 yards. It looks like it'll be Tash Flint to take it. Tash, who scored the equaliser just before the drinks break. It will be Flint, drives it low into the wall, does stand its ground to get that clearance, and Sophie Bingo now picks the ball up on the far side, tries to race away, which has already got two to defend with. Into the middle finds Rosie Axton. Advantage given by the referee. The through ball is picked out, and advantage not utilised by Leicester City. Now is Saffron Jordan in towards the penalty area, trying to pick out some space and time to get a shot in, but Holly Morgan is back well to block that one, and Paige Stewart gets it further clear. Dugmore flicks that one on, but again Rovers win that ball back. And then Lee Dugmore gets a free kick for Leicester City for pushing the back, and automatically Leicester City take that on quickly and pushing forward. Now Domingo on the ball. She's got the option of Lee Dugmore, can't quite get it past Jess Holbrook, and it's Rovers who pick the ball up again. Bursting forward now with Jess Holbrook. This game seemingly livening up in the last 5 or 6 minutes. Here's making on this near side, trying to get past Rear Acton, finds Jordan on the edge of the area. Flint tries to find making out wide, but Rear Acton intercepts, finds Domingo, deflected clearance, and it's back with Rovers in attack, and here's Taylor with the ball in towards the box. Collected comfortably by Charlotte Clark. Blackburn Rovers are starting to apply a little bit more pressure in search for a leading goal.
Yeah, they've come into the game tremendously well since the equaliser.
Jackson opts to go back to Charlotte Clark, recycle to the opposite side and finds Nat Johnson in space to run into. Looks for that ball over the top for Rosie Jackson. It'll be cleared though by Blackburn Rovers, and it's Ali Cook who puts a foot through it to clear it further and then paid back to Hill in the Rovers goal. Just under 10 minutes to go until the break. There's Holbrook battling away with Lee Dugmore in the middle of the park, but the Rovers midfielder comes off strongest and keeps the ball. Finds Shepherd, ball in the middle to Jordan, back to Shepherd, and picks that one out in the middle, and Paige Stewart as well to intercept and get goal side of that one. Then Nat Johnson puts her foot through that one to clear it away from danger. One ball down the line will comfortably roll through for Charlotte Clark, who shouted leave and collected that one. Morgan finds rear acting. He opts to go back to keeper Charlotte Clark. Leicester more than happy to pass this one around at the back. Johnson brings it forward, finds Dugmore just inside the Leicester half. Back to Johnson. Plays that ball in the middle looking for Olivia Mitchum, but it's again intercepted by Rovers, and they can bring it forward now through Flint. Finds Holbrook. Looks for the ball down the middle, and it's deflected and intercepted. Olivia Mitchum then looking for the through ball there for Sophie Domingo. If she can take this past the keeper, Sophie Domingo does well to get past Danielle Hill, tries to find a ball across goal, but it's deflected out of play for a corner from Alex Taylor, and Sophie Domingo did really well there to beat the keeper to the ball and take it past her, but unfortunately no one else that she could pick out in the middle of the box.
Yeah, really, again, proving an outlet for Leicester City to, under a spell of pressure there from Blackburn, to get out and get up the pitch. Very honest there from Domingo. Could have easily left the leg in and maybe gone for the penalty, but she skipped round the keeper and looked for the ball for a teammate.
Rosie Jackson then stood over this corner, an out-swinging ball towards the near post. Lee Dugmore gets the header there, and Lee Dugmore headers home, and Leicester City restore their goal lead. Lee Dugmore with a fantastic header at the near post from Rosie Jackson's corner. The same two that combined for the opening goal, but this time the other way round, and Lee Dugmore headers Leicester City back in front.
Absolutely brilliant set piece there from Axton. That looked straight from the training ground. Dugmore running to the near post. That's another element of her game that perhaps you can overlook due to her short stature. She's very, very good in the air, and she directs that perfectly past the goalkeeper.
Corner then for Leicester City. Rosie Axton with a great delivery, and like you say, it's one from the training ground by the looks of it. 5 minutes to go until the break, and Lee Dugmore, just over 5 minutes, and Lee Dugmore headers Leicester City into a 2-1 lead. And certainly at this stage, given the fact that, as you mentioned, they've probably had the better of the chances in this first half, they'll feel that they deserve that lead. And they'll at least want to see it out until the half-time whistle. Rosie Jackson flicks that one long, missed clearance there from Rovers. It bounced over the top of Taylor. Olivia Mitchum gets a foot on the ball to bring this one under control. Tries to get past away from the defender. Still going and finds Domingo just inside. Skips past Taylor, and Domingo's still going with the ball. If she can at least win something for Leicester. Finds the ball back to Olivia Mitchum, and now Leicester have got numbers in the middle, but it's a wayward ball in towards the box and out of play for a goal kick.
Be interesting to see how Blackburn respond to going behind, whether they can get themselves back into it before the interval. I'm sure Jonathan would have said to their players, if they get ahead this late into the first half, just to keep it at this stage so they can go in at half time and talk about what to do in the second half. But it's very encouraging from Leicester to be 2-1 up at this stage.
Leicester again opting to pass it around from the back. Holly Morgan now looking to bring this one forward. Looks for a long down the line. It's flicked on by Alex Taylor, who got a last touch on it for Rovers. Then it's given back, and Leicester getting themselves a free kick on the halfway line as Tash Fenton blocks off Sophie Domingo. just asking the question as to whether there should be a card for that one, but the referee not listening to Page. Stewart then stood over this free kick. The referee just talking again to players in and around the edge of the 18-yard box. Now will be a fantastic sign for Leicester to double their lead. Page Stewart in towards the 18-yard box. It's headed straight up by Rovers. Lee Dugmore gets there to try and win that one. It's cleared and trying to get the clearance fired in by Nicole Nyman, but the whistle had already gone for a foul on Jess Holbrook. Another big goal at the bottom of the league as Guiseley have taken the lead 1-0. Home to Nottingham Forest. Do have games in hand, but are currently 4 points adrift at the bottom of the league. Although with West Brom not in action today, they could close that to just 1 point with still 2 games in hand. Survival very much in their own hands. Rosie Axton flicks that one in field. Lee Dugmore lets it bounce and then picks it back up. Back to Rosie Axton. Tries to flick that one in for Dugmore, but cleared by Rovers for a City throw-in. Into the final 2 minutes of this first half. Leicester with a throw-in long in towards the 18-yard boxes. Just missed by Olivia Mitchum. Battling away though to try and keep that one in play. Does keep it in play, but again is adjudged to have fouled Ellie Cook. Olivia Mitchum not happy with that decision, but it is a free kick to Blackburn Rovers inside there, pretty much on the goal line.
It did look like a rather innocuous challenge from Mitchum, but I think the ref felt that the Blackburn defender was bundled over in the box.
Challenge in the middle there between Lee Dugmore and a Rovers midfielder, but 2 players straight down. Dugmore holding ahead. The free kick's given Blackburn Rovers' way. Certainly both players there went to ground very quickly and both looking some discomfort.
Both holding their heads. I think it's well played to the medical teams there to get straight out and treat the players.
Goal in the game between Stoke City and AFC Fylde. Stoke have retaken the lead. They now lead 2-1 on the stroke of half-time there. Both players are now sat up, which is a good sign for both teams.
With such little time going to half time now, they both look right to carry on. Obviously they both have to leave the pitch before play can resume, but they look good to carry on at least till half time.
Lee Dugmore is back to her feet, as is the Blackburn player. We can quickly take a look at the second goal which Lee Dugmore scored to put Leicester in to this 2-1 lead. Heading home at the near post from a Rosie Axton corner. Both players just making their way off the pitch there, but Lee Dugmore arriving late at the front post. A fantastic bullet header past Danielle Hill sees Leicester City into a 2-1 lead that they'll look to keep to this half time. Both players back to the feet and seemingly all right. But at the minute, both off the pitch, and we'll resume 10 against 10. Free kick then to Blackburn Rovers. Just inside their own half. Via long ball, cleared well by Paige Stewart. Then Olivia Mitchell picks it up in the centre circle. Both players are back on, so we're up to the full complement. Here is making on this near side. Lays that one off to Jess Holbrook. Ball across goal is cleared well by Nat Johnson at the near post.
Great decisive clearance there. I think Johnson's had a good game today.
Great shot from the edge of the area there, curling in towards the top post, but it's just narrowly wide. We're into stoppage time here inside this first half. We have seen a number of, at least 2, quite lengthy stoppages, so we'll see how long the referee opts to add on. Important from Leicester's point of view that they see this out at least until half-time, this 2-1 lead. If you've just joined us, Rosie Axton slotting in her 50th goal for the club inside the opening 2 minutes before Tash Flint levelled the scores up, and then Lee Dugmore's bullet header, as you've just seen, putting City back in front. Now here's Holly Morgan bursting forward for Leicester into the Rovers half, finds Sophie Domingo on this near side, battling away on that touchline, but can't do enough to keep Leicester in possession, and it's a Rovers throw in, edge of their own 18-yard box. Sophie Domingo does well to win that ball there. Finds Rosie Axton if she can find less player to lay this one off to. Finds Holly Morgan. She's got Megan Macon closing it down. Laid it back to Paige Stewart. Chips that one in towards the 18-yard box, but cleared by Rovers, and now Shepherd picks it up. Only finds Holly Morgan with her chipped pass. Paige Stewart instructing Holly Morgan to go backwards, and Nicole Nyman is picked out, and then finds Hayley James on this far side. We work ourselves some space to put a ball in towards the box, looking for Rosie Axton, who's switched this near side. Rear Axton goes first time for a ball, looking down the line of Rosie Axton, as well to get in front of Taylor, but can only see it out for a goal kick for Blackburn Rovers.
Holly Morgan coming into the game a little bit towards the end of the first half. I think has been actually so well at driving into midfield and sort of opening up, breaking through the lines. But I think she's been so preoccupied with the Blackburn forwards, making sure that she doesn't get complacent herself defensively, that we haven't been able to see that side of her game.
Johnson does well to get across and clear that one. Paige Stewart then clears the following ball, but Rovers pick it up again now through Macon. Holly Morgan is really well to get inside and clear that one. Leicester need to see this one out still till half-time. Here's Taylor on the ball for Rovers. Then long ball down the line from Cook, is over the top of Macon. Rear Acton gets the ball back via a deflection. Through the middle for Olivia Mitchell. Flicks it back to Rear Acton. She's got a number of options to pick out if she can take a pass. Finds Rosie Axton on the far side. Into the middle, looking for Olivia Mitchell, but it's behind the striker, although Hayley James picks up the following ball. Then Paige Stewart goes out to the far side and finds Sophie Domingo as well to bring it under control, and skips past the fullback. Sophie Domingo in towards the penalty area. She can pick out anyone. Finds Dugmore. Dugmore skips away from one. The ball deflecting out to Rosie Axton. Skips back inside. Looks for the shot from distance, but it's blocked. And there is the half-time whistle. Leicester are applying the pressure on late on to try and extend their lead to 3-1, but well blocked defensively from Blackburn Rovers, and another even game, but it's 2-1 to the Foxes at half-time.
I think they had Blackburn on the ropes there towards the end of the first half. They were the 2 goals gave themselves a platform, and they were looking to exploit that at the end of the first half. They're doing, I'd say, really well, and almost the worst time, I think, for half time to come. I think that's very positive to see from their second goal.
Referee and Rovers goalkeeper Daniel Hill still disputing a couple of decisions towards the end of that first half, but the most important fact of that first half is it's Leicester 2, Blackburn Rovers 1.
Waiting for any hospital treatment can be a worry. Without insurance, getting private treatment can be a financial worry. Let Spire Leicester Hospital help. With our affordable fixed price self-pay options, you'll get timely access to your consultant and the aftercare you need. To find out more, search Spire Leicester Self-Pay or call 0116 214 5100 today. Spire, your affordable private healthcare choice.
Welcome back then to Farley Way for the second half of this crucial Northern Division title race decider, almost, between Blackburn Rovers and Leicester City Women. And it is the Foxes who lead 2-1 at the break. And we've seen a number of fantastic goals, but certainly from Leicester City's point of view, the 2 goals that we've scored have been very good goals and coming at vital times.
I think so. I think the most impressive aspect of the half, aside from the 2 goals, obviously, was the reactions from the City players after going ahead for the second time. I think they passed the ball better, they made more interceptions, they didn't let Blackburn play their game, and if they do that in the second half, then I'm sure they'll see this one over the line.
There we are, back underway then for the second half. Olivia Mitchell getting the ball rolling, and Paige Stewart looking long down the line and immediately, throwing Leicester City in a dangerous position. And the Foxes will be looking for an immediate start to this second half if they can score as early as they did in the first half. Opening goal coming inside the second minute for Rosie Axton. That'll be a fantastic boost for the Foxes. Here is Mitchum on the ball. Lays this one off to Dugmore, who skips past the defence in towards the area and plays that one off for the defender's legs for a corner to Leicester City, and it is a bright start. Out swinging ball then from that far corner in towards the 18-yard box. The header is there, it's dropped by the keeper, it's bouncing around, it's cleared eventually by Rovers. Then Dugmore takes that one back and lays it off to Rosie Axton. Skips past the oncoming attack, a ball in towards the box, it's cleared again by Leicester. Then Dugmore dollies it from the edge of the area, but it's blocked by Rovers. And then Paige Stewart looks to play that one back for Leicester City, but Saffron Jordan picks it up and is given handball against Saffron Jordan, and it'll be a free kick for Leicester City. Jordan not happy with the decision, and the referee making his way over and does get the ball back, and it's a free kick for Leicester City just inside the Rovers half. A couple of half chances then for Leicester City early on in that corner, hammered into the box, but Rovers well defended.
That near post was so densely populated with players. I think the keeper did. I'm not sure if the keeper got a hand on it, but the defenders did well to get that out and block the ensuing opportunities from the Leicester players.
Rosie Axton on the ball, lays that one back to Nat Johnson under some pressure, and then Paige Stewart puts her foot through it. Can't prevent that one going out for a throw in down just in front of the Leicester City dugout. Updates from some of the other games. Guiseley have taken a 2-0 lead. That one is a 2:30 kickoff, so still in the first half there, 15 minutes or so to go until half time. 2-0 to Guiseley against Nottingham Forest. Long ball over the top from Paige Stewart, looking for Sophie Domingo. Keeper thought about coming in and changed their mind. Domingo then flicks that one back in field and wins a corner. Great outfield ball there from Paige Stewart, setting away Sophie Domingo. Corner kick again for Leicester City.
Again, it's another bright, impactful start from Leicester City. Straight from the changing rooms. We'll just see if, unlike the first half, if they can keep this up throughout the remaining 45 minutes.
In comes his ball in towards the 6-yard box again. Keeper's out and gets a hand to that one to punch it clear. Dugmore up rises and gets ahead to that one. Flick back in towards the box, and the keeper comes out to claim that one and does really well to get both hands to that one. And goes long looking downfield for Saffron Jordan, but Rear Acton is well across to see that one out for a throw in. Long cross from the edge of the box there from Lagan Makin, headed back into play by Taylor, but cleared by Paige Stewart. He puts a foot through it, in towards the Blackburn half. And Rosie Axton wins that one, but can't prevent it going out of play. Foxes straight away back onto the ball there through Hayley James, and then long downfield from Nat Johnson. Olivia Mitchum heads that one into the middle, but there's nobody there for Leicester City. And Johnson again puts a foot through that one to clear it downfield. Cook gets ahead to that one to head it back to keeper Danielle Hill. Here is Cook bursting forward, finds Saffron Jordan. Nat Johnson gets a foot in, but the ball is still brought forward, and now Flint with the ball. Hayley James doing really well to get goal side of that one, and sees it out of play for a corner to Rovers, who are starting to grow into this second half.
After that opportunity in the first half that Jordan just dragged wide, I think the City defenders have given her very little time for manoeuvre. They've got tight into her and tracked her throughout the game.
In comes that corner in towards the back post. The header is there from Shepherd, and it's still in a bounce alive. The keeper didn't quite get it from Charlotte Clark, but it's cleared by Hayley James. Nervy times for Leicester with that corner, but eventually well defended by the Foxes. Rovers still going forward there. Fenton with the ball in towards the box. Headed again, clear by Hayley James. Allowed to be pepped back in by the Rovers player. And then Hayley James and Nat Johnson will combine and eventually get this one clear down this near side. Rosie Axton can't quite get a header, and it's back with Tash Flint for the visitors. Holbrook flicks that one in field. Saffron Jordan tries to flick it on for Tash Flint, but it's picked up by Leicester. Now Rosie Axton can bring this one down this touch line. Still going Rosie Axton into the Rovers half. Olivia Mitchum picks it up and then wins the free kick. Ali Cook didn't like that decision, but the referee stands firm. Free kick for the Foxes.
Again, we see how good Mitchum is at hold-up play, as she's been throughout the afternoon, backing into her marker there and winning the free kick.
Paige Stewart then with this free kick. A chance to Leicester to load players in towards the back post and the edge of the 18-yard box. Dan Hill just making sure her wall is in the right place and the right side. Stewart lost that one in towards the back post. Dugmore rises for it. In fact, Nat Johnson it is who's at the front post looking to get a header at goal, but it's collected by Hill. Hayley James gets up to reach that one. Rhea Acton on the far side sees that one out of play for a throw in. Here's Fenton on the ball for Roses. Played back to Taylor, who looks along in towards the middle of the park. Laid off, but it's Nicole Nyman who puts a foot through to clear it. Now Cook looks for a shot from distance. A really good shot and a really good save from Charlotte Clark. A really good shot from distance there from the Rovers defender, and Charlotte Clark equal to it to put it out of play for a corner.
Really good technique to get it on target from that far out with so much power, but Clark watched the ball all the way and got down to push it around the post.
Ball in towards the near post. Cleared by Leslie through Charlotte Clark, and then Paige Stewart clears it further. And the ball back in towards the Leicester area will be picked up by Charlotte Clark. And now Leicester looking to bring this one forward as Rovers still getting back and organised. Here's Hayley James down the line looking for Rosie Axton. Can't quite keep that one in play, and it's out of play for a Rovers throw-in. Fenton looks along with that ball, but it's out of play for a City throw-in this time. Throw-in then for Leicester. It's Hayley James with the ball. James looking to go long down the touchline, looking for Olivia Mitchum. Can't quite get help on that one, and Paige Stewart rises for the clearance. Throw-in taken quickly, and Holbrook plays that one back. Long ball down the field by Chelsea Dukes. Nat Johnson will try and see this one out of play for a goal kick, and so it is. Bit of relief again for Leicester, who know that the longer this stays 2-1, Blackburn Rovers will push everything forward to try and get themselves back level.
As you've alluded to before in this game, Dan, that Leicester do have the ability to counter-attack, obviously with the pace that they have up front, especially with Domingo on the wing.
Flint for Rovers. Now Holbrook tries to flick on infield for Flint to receive, but Nat Johnson gets inside and wins that one back for Leicester City now. They're looking to work this one away from their own defence. Paige Stewart in a bit of space to pick out a perfect pass, lays it one back for Holly Morgan. Paige Stewart under a bit of pressure, lays that one back for Nat Johnson. Here is Johnson bringing that ball forward, finds Naimian, takes a couple of touches to keep possession and still going with the ball really, really well there to shepherd that ball away from Blackburn, but then does lose out eventually. Rovers forced to go back to keeper Hill, who looks long towards where the Leicester dugout is, but it can't be kept in play, and it's a throw into Leicester inside the Rovers half.
Good pressure there from Leicester to force the ball back to the keeper. If they keep on doing that, then Blackburn won't have the opportunities that they created in the first half, and they certainly haven't been getting the ball in the final third as much as they would have liked since the restart.
Rovers picking up on a loose ball in the middle of the field there. Cook looks to go long down the line looking for anybody in red, but it's Nat Johnson who gets there first and he's on out of play for a throw into the Foxes, to the Rovers, sorry. Rosie Axton as well to get goal side and win that one. Nat Johnson again battling away there with Jordan to win it. Hayley James picks that one up and comes forward with it. Finds Dugmore in the middle, who flicks that one out wide looking for the run of Sophie Domingo, but it's put back into the mix by Blackburn Rovers. Nicole Nyman jumps highest to reach that one, and then Paige Stewart puts her foot through it. Chelsea Dukes wins that one for Rovers, and now Flint has the ball on this far side. Leicester City could do with a spell of the possession being in Rovers half, but not just coming yet. Now here's Lee Dugmore, tries to flick on for Sophie Domingo, but it's out of play. It's put back into the middle, sorry, by Blackburn Rovers. Lee Dugmore, though, picks it up again for Leicester City and bursts forward. Advantage given by the referee for a trip, and then a second trip is on Lee Dugmore, and that one will be pulled back for a foul, and it looks like the referee is going to his pocket there for a
right decision
for a foul from Lagan Mackin.
Right decision there from the referee. It seemed a tactical foul to stop Dugmore from racing into the heart of the defence. So yeah, deserved yellow card there.
AFC Guiseley. Oh, sorry, I'll come back to that one. Substitution here as Nicole Nyman makes her way off. And Charlotte Greengrass coming onto the pitch for Leicester City. Straight away, Greengrass making her way in towards the 18-yard box to try and get a head onto this free kick.
Fresh off a hat-trick, of course.
Free kick then for Leicester. Paige Stewart lifts that one in towards the 18-yard box, straight though to the goalkeeper Danielle Hill. Whilst Rovers bring that one forward, I can tell you that AFC Guiseley's relegation battle is very much in their own hands. They lead Nottingham Forest by 4-0 at the half-time whistle. That one's a 2-2 kick-off to the half-time whistle, has only just gone there.
I think it would be a huge loss to the league if we lost either Guiseley or West Brom. I think Guiseley have been impressive in patches this season. I mean, we saw that from Leicester City's point of view, and West Brom obviously mainstays in this division. So I think the league itself is really the biggest loser if either of those sides go down.
And Guiseley promoted last season, having been relegated the previous season, and manager Glenn Preston made a point that most of the players that had remained from the previous season felt they had unfinished business in the Northern Division. And certainly if they can stay up heading into the final 2 weeks bottom of the league, they will certainly feel that they've made amends for those unfinished business in the previous game. Holly Morgan wins a tackle there and gets a really well to win the ball and brings it away for Leicester now. Sophie Domingo flicks that one past one, but he can't quite bring it under control. Rear Acton now bursting forward with the ball. Acton looking to bring that one in field, but it's cut out by McDonald for Rovers. Down the line finds only Paige Stewart in the blue of Leicester City. Tries to skip past one or two but can't take the ball with her. And long ball down the line looking for the run of Tash Flint, who's beaten the offside trap to get goal side of that one. She's got Saffron Jordan in the middle instead. Flicks that one in for Jess Holbrook, who's in plenty of space, but Holbrook can't keep a shot down. It's over the bar. That's a golden opportunity for Blackburn Rovers to level the scores, and Jess Holbrook can't keep that one down on target, and it's a let-off for Leicester City.
We're just about to praise Leicester City's defending on an individual level. Their defence have been playing really well all game. Just seen that challenge by Holly Morgan. But as the ball went in, you could see that I think it was James and Johnson both looked towards Saffron Jordan in the middle, saw she was free, and both moved towards the ball and the player and left their back post free there. Let off for Leicester City.
A reminder, if you have just joined us, that Middlesbrough not in action today, meaning that either side who gets the win today will end the day top of the table. As it stands, Leicester City 2-1 lead. Here's Dugmore, tries to flick on looking for the run of Sophie Domingo, who's got the pace there against Alex Taylor, but has to check back on a run but still keeps hold of the ball. Domingo trying to get past Taylor, but Taylor as well to recover and win that ball back for Rovers. And now Taylor is bursting forward, finds Holbrook just inside the Leicester half, flicks that one out wide for Mackin on the far side. If she can pull this one back in towards the box, there's plenty in there. The cross is long, but it's deep and collected well by Charlotte Clark. Cleared long by Charlotte Clark, but again it's Rovers who are going to bring this one forward. Charlotte Greengrass gets a last touch to that one to win it back for Leicester City, and we're forced to put that one out for a throw-in on that far side. Near side, sorry. Crowd certainly starting to get behind the Foxes here. Into the final half an hour of this game as Rovers have the ball down by the corner flag on the near side, trying to battle away and get across into the box. Instead it's deflected off of Paige Stewart for a corner for Rovers. Thought about the quick option, instead it's a chance for Rovers to get players forward into the penalty area. In comes that ball, it's headed down at the back post and off the crossbar, and it's still bouncing around, and then eventually is cleared by Leicester City. It's another ball into the box that Leicester City have had a bit of trouble getting rid of, but fortunately for the Foxes they have cleared this one. It's out of play for a throw in. Flint is trying to battle away there, and Hayley James as well to try and win it back. It bounces kindly though for Rovers. Ball in towards the box, is cleared by Nat Johnson, and now Leicester City can think about getting away on a counter-attack here. Sophie Domingo on the far side, bursting forward towards the halfway line. 4 in blue racing away. She lays that one off for Rhea Acton, who's got great pace to try and get goal side. Tries to get across the way, and Taylor does really well to recover and get enough on that ball to see it stopped. And Rhea Acton tries to get away for a cross into the box, but overhits the touch, and Rovers relieved to see that one behind for a goal kick.
Really exciting 5 minutes there from both sides, one into the other. Blackburn somehow not scoring, hitting the bar from the corner, and Leicester, with the pace of Domingo, were able to break, but unfortunately he couldn't find that final ball.
Goal kick missed by 2 or 3 in the middle, and flicked out wide by Flint for Saffron Jordan to chase, but Nat Johnson sees that one back for Charlotte Clark. Ball in the middle then is Greengrass is to win. Still though, Rovers have the ball, then Nat Johnson puts a foot through that one to clear, and both miss that one. And Rosie Axon does really well to bring that ball under control, and she can try and pick out a Leicester player again here as Rosie Axon looks to go down the line for Sophie Domingo, switching the play, but again it's cut out by Alex Taylor in the middle, who's enjoying quite a lot of the possession on that far side, winning some vital interceptions for Rovers. Infield by Jukes. Here is Holbrook tries to bring that ball into midfield and finds Flint. A number of options to try and find. Instead finds Saffron Jordan in the middle, tries to skip away from Nat Johnson, but Johnson wins that one for Leicester City. Now though, still going with Rovers. Holbrook finds Saffron Jordan. Again, Nat Johnson is there to win it back. And 2 vital interceptions from Nat Johnson, battling away in that middle, and now Johnson can bring this one forward. Finds Dugmore, laid off to Rosie Axton, just caught a little bit and can't quite keep the possession there for Leicester City. And long ball in towards the box from Shepherd, who pulled back at the back post, takes a deflection, it's out for a corner.
Blackburn are really coming into the game now. It's very tense from a Leicester perspective. Corner count rising for Blackburn as well. They'll look to make something of one of these deliveries.
Saw what turned out to be the winner, the second goal in that 3-1 defeat in the League Cup, was a Blackburn Rovers corner. This one comes in swinging towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's bounced over the top of 2. Rosie Jackson misses a clearance, and it's still Rovers who have the possession. Now is Flint on the edge of the area. Plays this one looking for a cross into the box, deflected off of Lee Dugmore, who got a block in, and it's another corner for Rovers.
Of course, their goal against Derby came direct from a corner as well. Slightly fortuitous with that one, with the ball seemingly going in off a Derby player. But they do have quality from these deliveries.
Tense and nervy times here at Farley Way. Jonathan Morgan urging his players to stay switched on, stay focused, as Rovers, I guess, their 3rd corner in a row. This one's low and in towards the box, headed clear and then headed back in by Rovers. 2 or 3 battling away with it, and the fire is there. It's fired in by Saffron Jordan. It's almost an overhead kick. She didn't leave the ground, and Blackburn Rovers do have the second equaliser. It's 2 apiece.
It's really good athleticism there from Saffron Jordan. She's been a nuisance in the box the whole time, in about the 6-yard box. That time the ball did fall to her, and she was able to direct it into the goal. Huge blow for Leicester City, though.
Bit of a subdued celebration there from Rovers, which sort of took me by surprise, but a second substitution then for Leicester City as Olivia Mitchum makes way, and it's a chance then for Jade Benford, who's spent most of the season injured after an injury towards the end of last season. In fact, it might have been pre-season this year, but Jade Benford can certainly call herself a super sub if she nets the winner here today. 2 apiece then if you have just joined us and we're back underway. As Paige Stewart launches that one long down the field, but it's out of play for a Rovers throw in. Just over 20 minutes left to play in this vital Northern Division tie. Here's Nat Johnson, lays that one back for Charlotte Clark. Have to see if the heat and the sun comes into any account as fatigue sets in towards the end of the game. Leicester have, as you mentioned it in the first half, boasted about their fitness levels, scoring vital goals late on in games. Long ball over the top, then looking for the run of Sophie Domingo. If she can keep that one alive, instead it will roll through for a goal kick. From Blackburn's point of view, they'll be delighted with a point away from home at a title rival. Just to see how the 2 teams look at seeing this game out, and whether Blackburn look to take any measures and time wasting, and hoping, of course, the referee keeps a hold of it.
It's a huge goal in terms of the title race. Obviously, Leicester was sitting, as it stood, at the top of the league, but with the games Blackburn have in hand, you'd think a win, Leicester do need a win to keep their chances alive.
Goal kick long then from Hill, straight towards where Tash Flint is. Hayley James with her for company as this one goes out wide. Inside finds Saffron Jordan, trying to lay that on back for Flint, then back to Saffron Jordan. Lovely little 1-2s and still going, but Hayley James as well to get a foot on that one and win it back for Leicester City. Now Rosie Axton on the ball on the far side. Lays this one back for Captain Holly Morgan, and Leicester City will just settle a little bit on the ball. Down the line by Paige Stewart, looking for Jade Benford, but it's out of play by Rovers for a City throw in just inside their own half. Holly Morgan does well to skip past one or two, then still gets there for the tackle, but doesn't win the throw in. Saffron Jordan wins a header, and Blackburn Rovers are certainly on top here and pushing for another opportunity. Is making on that far side, rear acting as well to get a foot in that one and see it out of play for a throw in. Back for fullback Alex Taylor to take. Rosie Jackson gets a foot to the throw in and out of play for a second throw. New ball required, and now ready then for Alex Taylor to take this throw in. Looks in towards the penalty area, headed down by Saffron Jordan. Shot in from distance from the far post. This great finish from Tash Flint, and Blackburn Rovers have the lead. Can't argue with that. A fantastic finish from the edge of the area, and Leicester City, having led at 2-1 at the half-time whistle, find themselves 3-2 down with 20 minutes left to play.
It's one of the best finishes I've seen all season. Hit with such venom, such power. Charlotte Clark can get anywhere near it. To hit it straight into the corner from that range, from that angle. Great goal.
There's the second half drinks break for this heat in the second half, and the referee just signalling a second drinks break, and Jonathan Morgan with a chance to try and get some tactics in for his players. At this point they have 17 minutes left to try and find at least an equaliser, if not a winner.
I'm not sure if Leicester City's heads have dropped after conceding the equaliser, but there was more space than there usually was on the edge of the area between the lines, and obviously that cost them with the Blackburn attacker having the opportunity to turn and get a shot away.
What do you think Jonathan Morgan will be saying to his players at this point? And obviously we can see there Michael McConey is in the middle, the assistant manager, just talking to some of his players as they're making their way back onto the pitch. What do you think their thoughts will be for these final 15-20 minutes?
Well, I think their thoughts can only be focused on getting a goal or two in the minutes that remain. I think they can be proud of the performance. And as we say, the games have been tight this season between these two sides, and I think that they know a goal isn't too far away. It's
the 75th or so minute, and it's the first time in this game that Blackburn Rovers have had the lead. And Leicester City have to again come from a setback and find an immediate response from this kick-off. Jade Benford, the substitute, is stood over the ball. Finds Paige Stewart. This time we'll go back for Holly Morgan. And Leicester City needing to find a response from this game as a long ball down the field from Nat Johnson is picked up by Sophie Domingo in towards the penalty area, cleared by Ellie Cook for a corner to Leicester City. Appeals from Rovers for a handball against Sophie Domingo, but the referee not interested in any of those, and it's a corner for Rosie Axton.
Positive response there. Blackburn obviously appealing for the handball, but I think it was hit with such power so close to her. I don't think she could have moved her hands out of the way.
In comes this ball, and it's straight out of play behind for a goal kick, and that's not what Leicester City need at that point of view. The table as it stands then will be Blackburn leading the way. We played 18, 44 points, and then Middlesbrough played 20, 42 points, and Leicester played 20, 40 points. Long ball over top by Rosie Axton. She found Sophie Domingo inside, lays that one off for Lee Dugmore, takes a caught there but nothing given by the referee. Sophie Domingo keeps that one alive and finds Paige Stewart, tries to flick that one in towards the area. Jade Benford jumps to try and meet that one, but it's cleared at the back post by Blackburn Rovers. And Lee Dugmore is limping a little bit with a bit of a knock, but is now back up and running as Leicester City keep the ball at their defensive line through Morgan and Johnson, and now Holly Morgan can bring this one forward. Tries to take it past Holbrook, but clearance is sliced from Rovers, and it's a throw-in for the Foxes. Down the field, tries to find Sophie Domingo on the touchline. Out of play for another throw-in the other side of the dugout. Again, down the line, finds Domingo on the ball now. Rear Acton's ball across goal is all the way to the back post, and Hayley James is arriving at this back post. Tries to take it past one or two. Hayley James, if she can high low delivery into the box, and it's deflected and cleared from Rovers. Still Leicester City keeping this ball alive and trying to push for this one. It's Charlotte Greengrass who brings find a full ball for Rosie Axton, but it's misplaced, and now Leicester City are in trouble as Linda Shepherd brings this ball forward, looking for the run of Saffron Jordan. Instead gets a return ball and now finds Macon on this far side long shot from distance from Lagan Macon, and it's out of play for a goal kick.
That is the danger with Leicester going for the equaliser, that they are going to be more exposed at the back. The header gets going straight to a Blackburn attacker there, with so many of the Leicester City midfielders caught up front, but that's the risk that comes with it, but that's what they need to do now.
We saw this in the League Cup final as well, the Leicester City needing to stick or twist, and as you mentioned, obviously Leicester City have to push forward and they have to have a late throw of the dice. Leicester City, or Jonathan Morgan, still has one option to pick from the bench. And again, we'll see Blackburn looking to waste a bit of time trying to see this game out. Here's Macon, they find Saffron Jordan, laid back to Linda Shepherd, then finds Flint. Rosie Axton trying to win that one back, but Flint just nicks it away from her. Finds Chelsea Dukes into the middle looking for a return ball to Flint, but it's picked out by Hayley James. Down the line, looking for the run of Jade Benford. Does really well to shepherd that one, and Cook shepherds it out of play. Still plenty of time left in this game, but Leicester will need to find at least an equaliser fairly soon if they are to go on and win this game. Long throw down the line. Rosie Axton tries to go ahead of that one. It's out of play for a Leicester throw-in. Now Hayley James will look to put this one back down the touchline, looking for a flick on of anybody in blue, but it's Flint who flicks it into the middle of the park for Rovers to clear. Saffron Jordan trying to bring that one down. And Nat Johnson penalised there for a foul on Saffron Jordan, but personally I don't agree with that one.
I mean, 50-50 there. I thought the referee just stopped it because it looked like a head injury, but no, he has given the free kick to Blackburn Rovers.
Or is he?
Oh
no, he is going to give a drop ball, not a free kick. He did point for a free kick, but instead he's dropped the ball for Tash Flint, who rather unsportingly doesn't play that one back to the keeper, and instead for a goal kick. But either way, the Foxes with a goal kick through Charlotte Clark. They trail by 3-2 with 15 or so minutes remaining, plus whatever the referee adds on. Hayley James with that throw in long down the line, flicked in field by Dukes, and again by Tash Flint. Rosie Axton will try and win that one, but the two less players both went for it, and it's Rovers who come away with the ball. And here is Flint on the ball for Leicester. Rosie Axton trying to get and win that one. Paige Stewart though intercepts well and wins that one back, and now Jade Benford can go. Looking for the run of Sophie Domingo on the far side, but the ball is long and the offside flag is up as well against Sophie Domingo.
It's going to be difficult for Leicester City to get back into this one, but they're going to have to make the most of those sort of half chances, because Blackburn are going to look to, as you say, waste time, keep possession of the ball for as long as possible. So when those opportunities do arise, then they do have to make the most of them.
mentioned there, of course, the time wasting from Blackburn. Again, the referee just instructing the players to speed it up. Free kick then for Blackburn from that offside decision is hit long by the keeper, flicked in field by Shepherd. Holly Morgan, though, as well to battle and get goal side of that one and wins the free kick. Holly Morgan takes this one quickly and finds Paige Stewart infield looking for the one of Rosie Axton, who can't quite beat the Rovers player to it, but Hayley James picks up the loose ball, tries to flick on infield for Paige Stewart, but it's still out of play. Then Stewart gets a touch to that one, but it's again cleared by Blackburn Rovers, and Hayley James battling away, sorry, Holly Morgan battling away with Saffron Jordan. I was going to say Hayley James picked up a little bit of a knock. Just hope she's all right, but that one's cleared out of play for a throw in on this far side. Free throw in to Leicester just inside the Blackburn half, played backwards for Holly Morgan, who takes a touch and then finds Johnson in the centre of the park. Close we get towards those final 15 minutes, we're going to have to see Leicester and Jonathan Morgan having that final roll of the dice with another substitution if he wants to, but not just yet. Holly Morgan brings this one across the halfway line. Gets a return ball for Paige Stewart. Infield finds Benford, tries to skip past one, but can't quite pick it up, then does pick it up a second time. Benford still going, driving with the ball, tries to flick on out wide for Sophie Domingo, who can't get there, and Taylor's forced to see that one out for a throw in for the Foxes. Level with the 6-yard box. Throw in, brought in. Saffron Jordan gets ahead to that first one. It's headed back in towards the area by Charlotte Greengrass, and a long clearance downfield from Rovers might find Lagan making in plenty of space. She's got Hayley James tracking back with her. Rovers now starting to get numbers forward, but the ball from Making is poor, and Rosie Axton picks it up for the Foxes, finds Nat Johnson in defence. Then Paige Stewart quickly flicks that one out for Charlotte Greengrass, who goes long down the line looking for Domingo. We need her pace in this rest of this game. Flicks that one out wide past Taylor and Benford. The offside flag is up against Benford. Chances and chances going missing for Leicester, and they have to make one of these count in the final 10-15 minutes.
Quite sloppy there from Leicester to be caught offside. I know it's a tense moment in the game, but they have to keep their composure, make the runs that they were doing in the first half, and chances will come their way.
I mean, as a minimum for Leicester to stay involved in the title race, it's a must not lose. You know, at least certainly at this stage, a draw is a positive result for Leicester. They'll still want to go on and win it if they get back into the game, but certainly at this stage they've got to at least find the equaliser. Holly Morgan, it's a little bit of a push there, and Leicester get themselves a free kick. Johnson looks to go long with this one, but again there's no Leicester player on the receiving end of that free kick. Heavy touch over in the middle, and Lee Dugmore picks it up, skipping away past Fenton. Still going is Dugmore. Foul goes against Lee Dugmore and in Rovers' favour. Not sure about that one either from the referee.
Leicester will give everything now. Their season's far from over with 2 games to go. But they'll know how important getting themselves back into the game this is. And as you say, it's a must not lose from Leicester. But with refereeing decisions like that, it won't help their cause.
Free kick then for Rovers, who again look to take a little bit of time taking this one. They'll slow this game right down. It's finished between Wolves and Derby County, and Wolves have won that one 2-1, a vital 3 points to them, which lifts them level with safety. Hill goes long with this goal kick. It's Paige Stewart who meets it. Back to Paige Stewart from Lee Dugmore, but it's a bit of a heavy touch, and Fenton picks it up, and a free kick given then for a push on Fenton. Leicester have got to keep their composure in this final 10 minutes of the game.
10 minutes is more than enough time to get 1, maybe even 2 goals for Leicester. They shouldn't be discouraged by the clock here.
Into the final 5 minutes between Stoke and Fylde. Stoke now leading by 3-1. Be Fenton who's stood over this free kick. Probably I'd have thought a shot at goal from distance here for Fenton. Blocked well by the wall. Back to Fenton, then laid off to McDonald, who lifts that one in towards the box. The offside flag is up against the Rovers attacker in that far side. Long goal kick from Charlotte Clark is missed by the two in the middle, and then Sophie Domingo trying to win that one in the middle and tries to get the tackle in, but the tackle is from behind, and it's another free kick for Rovers in the middle for another foul on Tash Fenton.
Plenty of stoppages now in play as Leicester try and dig the ball out from the Rovers players' feet. It looks like a substitution here now as well.
Certainly the stoppages in play will suit Blackburn more than they will Leicester City, as Leicester City trying to get some momentum in this game. Just trying to work out who's going off for this Blackburn substitute. I think it's Lagan Macon who's actually making away, who came on as a substitute in the first half. Being opted to withdraw is an interesting decision from the Blackburn manager Gemma Donnelly. And it's defender Rhea Montgomery, or midfielder, sorry, who has replaced her. Long ball in towards the middle of the park, flicked goalwards, but is held by Charlotte Clark. The offside flag there was up against Rovers, and Charlotte Clark takes this goal kick, cleared by Cook, then Paige Stewart brings it under control, tries to flick that one away from anyone in red, but a through ball looking for Jade Benford is cleared by Rovers. Hayley James on this near side under some pressure and is forced to see it out of play for a Rovers throw in. Certainly whatever the scoreline ends up, we can say that all three of these games have been close games, and certainly shows there isn't much between these two sides in the Northern Division.
I mean, I'm sure that'll prove no consolation to Jonathan Morgan and the players, but in terms of, if you look at it as a whole since their promotion, these games have proven more, as well as their league position, just how they've closed the gap, really, and how they've improved. Obviously, the summer transfer window was really impressive in hindsight now.
There is Dugmore skipping forward on the ball for Leicester. He tries to find Sophie Domingo on that far side. Domingo with three in the box if she can pick one out. Skips past Taylor, still going trying to win that ball, but Taylor's forced to put it out of play for a Leicester throw-in. 5 minutes to go. Throw-in taken quickly, and here's Domingo on the ball. Back to Acton, the throw-in taker. Looking for Domingo again down the line. Ball in towards the box. The keeper comes out to claim, and keeper claims it. And Daniel Hill not happy with the challenge from Lee Dugmore, but it's a 50-50 ball, I think, in the middle of the park there, and she's perfectly entitled to go for that one. Just trying to work out what the referee's doing here. He's blowing the whistle for, I'm not quite sure what, but calling a couple of players over, and
he's got the yellow card out. I think it might be something that one of the players said, maybe, perhaps.
Has he given a free kick to Leicester? Everyone's making their way forward, and the Rovers player has got the yellow card, and it looks like it will be a free kick then for Leicester on the far side. I'm not quite sure what that was for at all, but to be honest, I don't really know what the referee's given at all here. I mean, clearly it's a free kick for Leicester.
Gifted an opportunity here. Have Leicester.
have to make the most of an opportunity like this, as Paige Stewart and Lee Dugmore both stood over that ball. It looks like Lee Dugmore might walk away, or maybe even lay this one off for Paige Stewart. The referee just making sure the wall is back. As Lee Dugmore then stood over the ball. The referee blows his whistle. Paige Stewart is laid off too. Looks to chip that one in towards the box. Cleared though by the wall of Blackburn, and that's not what Leicester City need to see this game out. And here's Montgomery, but reacted really well to get goal side of that one and put it out of play. But win the tackle. Saffron Jordan then on the far side keeps the ball alive down the touchline, looking for the corner.
This is where the experience of last season really helps Blackburn Rovers. They know what to do to see out the game.
Lee Dugmore, they're doing really well to win that one back for Leicester City. She's got 2 or 3 ahead of her. Looks to get across the halfway line into the midfield. Finds Charlotte Greengrass still going. She's got the ball through the middle, looking for Jade Benford. That's a bit of a heavy ball, and the keeper straight out to collect that one. Another opportunity for Leicester City goes missing.
Yeah, 2 opportunities, 2 players up with her there to play the ball. So I think she made the right decision in playing the ball into the substitute, but the ball was a bit too heavy to get on the end of it.
Long ball looking for nobody in particular there from Rovers. It's collected by Charlotte Clark, who picks that one up and then looks for the long kick down towards the halfway line. It's into the middle and Fenton puts a foot through that one. Nat Johnson gets a head up to that one. It's a Rovers throw in just halfway inside the Leicester City half. Chelsea Dukes will take this throw in for Rovers. Again, the referee urging his Rovers side to pick up the pace. Hayley James puts that one out of play for another Rovers throw in. Into the middle, Jess Holbrook picks it up, and Holbrook is heading for the corner, but Paige Stewart battles away, sees it out of play for another throw in, and Rovers now, you can see, you mentioned the experience there, they're happy to see this one out for full time down by the throw in. Again, it's taken short for Holbrook, back to Montgomery that time, but out of play again for another throw into Rovers. And Leicester need to get themselves back on the ball. In fact, I think that's given Leicester's way as a foul throw. And Leicester get themselves back on the ball through that throw in. Rosie Axton in that middle trying to win that one back, but it's bounced kindly for Tash Fenton, who tries to curl a shot goalwards, but it's taken a deflection and it's a corner for Rovers.
I think it's frustrating from a Leicester perspective that the ball is remaining in their corners, but from a Blackburn point of view, it's absolutely the right thing to do to see out the victory, and because they know how important these 3 points could be in terms of the title.
Corner taken over that far side. Again, they're heading for the corner. This time it's Tash Flint and Holbrook trying to win it back. Paige Stewart, they just win the throw in. It's taken long downfield and flicked out of play for another throw in. This time it's just in front of the Rovers dugout. Into whatever stoppage time the referee adds on. It is now or never for Leicester City. It's increasingly likely that it might be never. A long hit from Rovers will be able to play for a goal kick for Charlotte Clark. Leicester City, will they get one final chance in this game? Johnson goes through the middle and finds Charlotte Greengrass. They need to get this ball forward at the middle of the park at the minute. It's not going the way they want it to. With that one cleared again by Rovers for another goal kick. Referee just with another check of his watch. Saffron Jordan takes a deflection on that one, and still Rovers have that ball on that far side. It's now Saffron Jordan in possession of the ball. Hayley James tries to get the ball and concedes the foul, and Rovers again will take an opportunity to take this one and probably tick even closer to a full-time whistle, and it's heartbreak for Leicester. They're not totally out of the title race, but with Blackburn's games in hand, you imagine if they're going to pick up the points that they will see us through for a second successive Northern Division title.
As you say, still a possibility for the title, even with this defeat. But you would say Blackburn certainly now are our favourites going into the run-in.
Here is Domingo on the ball, skips forward and finds rear Acton. The defender is across to try and win it, but does so to see it out of play for a throw-in. Another check of the watch from the referee in the middle. Still, Leicester are slightly alive in this game. It's out of play. No, it's not. In fact, Lee Dunmore's still on the ball. Into the middle finds Charlotte Greengrass. Flicks that one in, looking for the run of Jade. Sophie Domingo in the offside flag up against Sophie Domingo. That, I feel, might well be the last chance that Leicester will get in this game, as again the referee with another check of his watch, and the experience of Blackburn Rovers, they'll certainly see this game out as best they can.
I think when Blackburn Rovers sort of analyse this game, they'll look to that sort of 20-minute period in the second half where those 2 goals came, where they applied the pressure. I think certainly from the stands you could see the pressure was building, and obviously they've got the win.
There is the full-time whistle here at Farley Way. Ends in disappointment for Leicester on their final game of the season here at Farley Way. It's finished Blackburn Rovers 3, Leicester 2. It started out so well for Leicester as they rushed into an early lead, and in fact they led half-time 2-1, but then, like you say, the second half, the pressure from Leicester the pressure from Blackburn Rovers, it's paid off for them, and they lead 3 goals for 2 and a final whistle. It's finished here at Farley Way. Blackburn Rovers 3, Leicester 2.
Waiting for any hospital treatment can be a worry. Without insurance, getting private treatment can be a financial worry. Let Spire Leicester Hospital help. With our affordable fixed price self-pay options, you'll get timely access to your consultant and the aftercare you need. To find out more, search Spire Leicester Self-Pay or call 0116 214 5100 today. Spire, your affordable private healthcare choice.